Commentary on John 8:11. This passage presents a powerful contrast between law and grace, accusation and forgiveness, external righteousness and internal transformation. It unfolds not merely as a moral lesson, but as a revelation of the character and mission of Christ in relation to sin, judgment, and covenant fulfillment. 1. Setting and context, VV 1-2. Jesus returns to the temple early in the morning, positioning himself as a teacher among the people. This setting is significant. The temple represents the center of the Old Covenant system, law, sacrifice, and judgment. Into this environment, Christ introduces a greater reality. 2. The accusation, 3-6a. The scribes and Pharisees bring a woman caught in adultery, placing her in the midst. Their appeal to the law of Moses is technically correct. Cf. Leviticus 20 verse 10, Deuteronomy 22:22. Yet their intent is not justice but entrapment. Notably, only the woman is presented, though the law required both parties. The law is used selectively, exposing their hypocrisy. Their goal is to force a contradiction, either deny Moses or reject mercy. This moment reflects the tension between the fading covenant of law and the dawning reality of grace embodied in Christ. 3. The divine response. 6b-8. Jesus stoops and writes on the ground. Though the text does not specify what he wrote, the action itself is symbolic. The law was written on stone. Here, Christ writes on dust, suggesting the temporary and fading nature of condemnation. His silence redirects attention from accusation to self-examination. Then comes the decisive statement, "He that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone." This does not deny the law. It fulfills its true intent by exposing the universal guilt of humanity. Judgment is not abolished. It is redirected inward. The accusers are brought face to face with their own condition. 4. The withdrawal of accusers, v9. Beginning with the eldest, they depart one by one. This detail suggests greater awareness of sin comes with age and experience. The law, when rightly understood, silences self-righteousness rather than empowering it. The scene shifts dramatically from a crowd of accusers to a solitary woman standing before Christ. 5. The encounter with grace, VV 10-11a. Jesus asks, "Where are those thine accusers? Hath no man condemned thee?" Her response, "No man, Lord." Then comes the pivotal declaration, "Neither do I condemn thee." This is not a dismissal of sin, but a revelation of authority. The only one qualified to condemn chooses instead to release. This moment captures the heart of redemption. Condemnation is not executed because it is about to be absorbed. 6. Go and sin no more, v 11b. This statement is often misunderstood as a conditional requirement. However, within the flow of the passage, it follows, not precedes, non-condemnation. Key observations. Freedom is given before transformation is instructed. The command is not rooted in threat, but in new identity and restored standing. The absence of condemnation becomes the basis for a changed life. This reflects a shift from external enforcement to internal transformation. Number 7. Covenantal significance. This account illustrates the transition from the old covenant system, centered on law, accusation, and penalty, to the new covenant reality, centered on grace, forgiveness, and fulfillment. The accusers represent the old order, which cannot stand in the presence of Christ. The woman represents humanity, guilty, exposed, yet ultimately restored. Christ stands as the mediator who neither ignores sin nor enforces its penalty upon the individual, but embodies a greater resolution. The absence of condemnation anticipates the complete removal of judgment that would soon be accomplished through Christ's work. 8. Theological emphasis. Sin is real, but it is not the final word. The law exposes, but does not empower. Grace restores, not by overlooking guilt, but by transcending it. Judgment is silenced, not because it lacks validity, but because it has reached its fulfillment. Conclusion. John 8:1-11 is not merely a narrative of mercy. It is a declaration that the era of condemnation is giving way to a new reality. The one who had the authority to condemn chose instead to release, revealing a kingdom where forgiveness is not earned, but given, and where transformation flows from acceptance rather than fear. The woman leaves not under threat, but under grace, no longer defined by accusation, but by the words spoken over her, not condemned.